Welcome to the Hyper Growth Zone podcast. This is your go-to resource for personal growth, mastering communication, and influencing and persuasion techniques that will help you unleash the full potential of yourself and others. Here is your host, Alex Morgan.
Welcome back. This is the fourth episode of the Hyper Growth Zone podcast. I'm Alex Morgan. I'm a master trainer of hypnosis and NLP, and I just love to talk about all things to help you achieve excellence. And I think today's episode, it's something that's so easy to do. However, many people, they just don't do it, or they don't understand the importance of it. So I know if you're listening, that you would find this important. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We want to talk today about controlling our state. So what is our state? Our state is how we feel internally. So this could be an angry state, a sad state, a fearful state. It could also be a state of happiness, joy, confidence, motivated. When you want to feel totally motivated or totally energetic if you needed to feel that. Do you think it'd be helpful if you could feel those things, those resourceful states at any time? I think it would. So let's go ahead and talk about the importance of it and what you can do to really achieve this ultimate state control. Because people who achieve excellence, people that are successful, one of the principles of success and of successful people is that they operate from a psychology and physiology of excellence. So they're really thinking in an excellent way. They're carrying themselves in a certain way. So guess what? If you're thinking in a certain way, in an excellent way, and you're carrying yourself, so the way you stand, the way you sit, the way you talk, all of those things, guess what? You're also going to feel in a resourceful way too. So the thing with our state, we can control it at any time. Most people, when they come for, let's say, coaching or sessions or whatever it is, they come in and they're making comments like, my mom, she makes me so angry. My spouse, I can just tell they're not listening, and that makes me so upset. Notice the language that they're using. They're using the word make, so the verb to make. So they're implying that the behavior of someone else has them feel this way. So this is like a cause and effect equation. Someone else is doing something and it's causing them to feel a certain way. And it's affecting them a certain way. However, when you listen closely in the language and you really read between the lines, what are they doing? They're giving excuses. They're giving reasons. They're pointing their finger outside to someone else. So if we can control our state, then we can take our personal power back. We can have resourceful states, and resourceful states, they allow us to feel empowered. And when we have empowerment, that personal empowerment, and we took our power back, we're not pointing the finger at anyone else. We're not blaming them. We're not saying they make us this or they make us that. We're taking responsibility. What does that do? That gets you results. So most of the people I talk to help, it's fine that they're giving excuses, that they're giving reasons. Most people do that. So if you're listening and you do that, it's okay. I do that sometimes too. I used to do it all the time until I learned these skills, until I learned to think a certain way, and until I learned a certain way to carry myself, and a certain way to feel on the inside that I can be in control of this. I can be in control of my personal power, and I can feel empowerment at all times. So that's what you want to focus on, because guess what? We get what we focus on. And we're focused on blaming people and things going wrong, then guess what? That's going to happen. However, if we focus on these resourceful states, then we can feel those anytime that we want to. Because all we have to do, if you want to feel confident, you don't have to have a goal of, I want to be confident. You can feel confidence right now. All you have to do is think of a time in the past that you were confident, that you were totally confident. Do that right now if you want. Think of a time you were totally confident. Do that with me. Create that picture in your mind. Put some sounds in there. Notice that feeling of confidence. Really, really notice that feeling of confidence. Guess what? You can feel that right now. You can be confident right now. And any time in the future, you can be confident. That's all you have to do. So that's how easy it is to truly control our state. We just have to think of a time where we were resourceful before. And that's the thing. You already have inside of you all the resources that you need to succeed. They're not in other people. They're not all around you. You don't have to look on the outside. You only have to look on the inside. And that's one of the things I shared in the first episode of this podcast. I was always searching for things on the outside to make me feel confident, or to give me motivation, or to bring me success. No, it's all inside of you. You have all the resources you need. And if you don't have a time that you can think of right now that you're totally confident, think how you would stand if you're confident. Think how you would think if you were confident. Think how you would talk if you were confident. That allows you to control your state in a matter of seconds. You don't have to wait for something to happen. Let's say you have a meeting at work and you're nervous and you don't want to do the meeting and you've been thinking about it. There's no reason to think about the meeting all week and what could go wrong. Put yourself in a confident state. Tell yourself you know everything that needs to happen at this meeting. You know exactly what to say. You know exactly what to do. And if you listen to the last episode, you're going to know exactly how the audience is accepting your communication and how they're doing it. And you're going to know what to say. So imagine that just within 2 episodes, you'll know what to say and you'll know how to feel and you'll know how to feel that. You can get into that confident state with ease. All you have to do is think of a time you were confident. And then you could go into that meeting confident. And the thing that's so important about controlling our state is the person who has the strongest state, guess what? They're controlling the room. So let's give an example of this and let's think how we can go deeper in this to how we can control the room with our strong state. So let's say I'm talking to someone about one of my trainings and I go in and I'm nervous and that's my strong state. I'm totally nervous and they can pick up on that. I know you've been in conversations with people before where you can pick up on how they feel and you can tell if they're nervous or anxious or they're excited and they're confident or they're motivated. So my strong state of nervousness, guess what? It's not going to get me the sale. I'm not going to be able to influence this person because they're going to pick up on that nervousness. And what's that going to do? They're not going to trust me. They're probably not going to like me. They're not going to want what I have. They're not going to see value in it, even if I know it's totally valuable and it can totally change how they think, how they live, how they do everything. Now, let's say I go into this call, this meeting, this sales call, whatever it is, and let's say I'm totally confident. This person, just like they picked up on the nervousness, they're going to pick up on the confidence. They're going to think, wow, this person really knows what they're talking about. I'm going to have the right pauses. My voice is going to be in the right tone. I'm going to be sitting the right way. I'm going to be thinking the right way. And guess what? The person on the other side, they're going to pick up on that. They're just going to start to feel confident themselves, and they're going to feel confident in me. And guess what? I have the belief that if I'm spending enough time with someone, let's say 5 minutes, that I can have them feel confidence. And if I can spend, let's say, 20 minutes, 30 minutes with someone, I'm confident that I can sell to them, that I can influence them, that I can persuade them, that what I have is valuable for them, even if they don't even know the price. Because of my confidence, my strong state of confidence that I have, they're going to pick up on that. And they're going to want to have what I have. They're going to think it's valuable. just because I have a strong state of confidence. So imagine being able to control this at all times. Just by thinking of a state in the past, you can bring it to the present, and then you can also take those resources in the future because you can feel confident in the future whenever you want. It doesn't have to be confidence. This is just the example. It can be whatever resourceful state you need to get into that you want that other person to get into to make the sale or to influence them or persuade them on your idea. It could be persuading your family or your spouse on where to go on vacation. You need to be able to have that state, and that state that you have creates a certain picture in your mind. And we did the exercise earlier and thought of a time that you felt confident. Guess what? That's going to create a totally different picture in your mind compared to a time that you felt nervous. So if you feel nervous, imagine the difference of the person you're talking to. Imagine the difference of the picture in their mind of when you're confident and they feel confident and the one of nervousness. It's going to be totally different. No wonder you can't influence them. No wonder you can't persuade them. No wonder you can't sell to them. They won't see any value because the picture is totally different. So that picture that gets created, it then gives them that feeling. So that's why it's so important to have that control of your state so you can have the strongest state in the room, so you can control the room. You can influence the room. You can persuade the room. So we need to have the strongest state, resourceful states, and we need to be able to feel them at any time. And all you have to do is to think of a time in the past that you felt that. And next thing you know, you will be in that state. The other person you're talking to can be in that state, and they'll see that picture. And it'll be so much easier for you to sell your idea, to persuade them, just to have genuine and curious conversations. Because both of you will be in a state of empowerment, a totally resourceful state. And that's how easy it is to really influence someone. When you're in a state, they're in that state too, and the picture in their mind is totally different. So this is one of the things that we teach in our training. We teach you how to get into these states, how you can always use them in the future. I just gave you one way today. However, we teach you many different ways in the training so you can not only be in that state, you can also influence the picture in the mind of the other person. And if you think about it, if we think about communication, let's say an event happens on the outside, something that makes us feel joy. We're going to create a picture in our mind. That's the internal representation in our mind. And with that is going to come a state. So how we feel internally. So that picture comes, then a state. And then we couple that with our physiology, so how we carry ourselves. And guess what? That's going to lead to our behavior. So if we can kind of change and have total control of those pictures in our mind, and we know how to just change that a slight bit. Maybe it's bringing it closer to us. Maybe it's making it more in focus or brighter or whatever, or creating another picture. That's going to lead to our state so we can easily change any behavior because the state coupled with the physiology, the way we're carrying ourselves, is going to lead to our behavior. So if we can control our state, we can control our behaviors. And guess what that gets you? That gets you predictable results. And if you had, I want you to think about something for a moment. If you have predictable results, as I'm talking, just think about this. If you have predictable results, what will that allow you to do? And just think of all the things that will allow you to do. And maybe after this episode, write down a bunch of things that you want. Write down a bunch of experiences that you want. And what will this get for you? So just write down all the things that this could get for you. And just contemplate those. If you were in this resourceful state that led to predictable behaviors, what will this allow you to do? And what will this get for you? And that's really how you learn and how you grow. If you're in resourceful states, guess what? You'll be able to learn better. You'll be able to talk to people easier. In business, you'll have better sales calls, better meetings. If you're consulting with other people, imagine how well you can consult with them. With your family, if you have a nice state, your family's going to feel that way too. Imagine coming home and being in these states of love for your family and them noticing that and picking up on it and them giving that back to you. Don't you think that would be useful to control your state like this, to have this skill? And it's a very easy skill to do. You just have to put yourself in that. You have to focus on what you want and then just take those actions. Because when you take actions, that's when you get results. And you consciously going into these states, over time, this is going to create a habit and you'll want to feel these all the time. It'll get easier and easier. And your results will get easier and easier because they're predictable. So those are just some of the easiest ways to go into a state, to have it be resourceful, and just think of all the results that you can get. So thanks for listening. That's it for this episode. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, go ahead and leave a 5-star review and go ahead and subscribe to our Athens NLP Studies YouTube channel. And just kind of let me know if you want to contact me, alex@athensnlp.com, what kind of states would be really resourceful for you. And as you do that, let me know your results. I would love to hear what you achieve through listening. And thanks for listening.